2005 F-150 with a 5.4. Well, that sounded really good. Now you may wonder why we're doing that, but it's okay, because we've got a big list of parts that this truck is going to get. Well, here we go again, another F-150 with a 3-valve 5.4 that's going to get some new life. This truck is in decent shape for the miles that are on it, 230,000 miles that it currently has. It's in really good condition inside and out. I mean, even the seats here are still clean, so this is a decent truck that a friend of mine bought, and he started having engine problems with it. Pretty sure that the timing components were bad in it. I don't know if the oil pump was starting to fail. Of course, it had the leaking exhaust manifolds, and I later found out it had some stuck spark plugs. So it's just one thing after another on this truck. And we decided that rather than try to tackle each individual job on this engine and all the labor that's involved, we might as well just replace the whole engine and be done with it. The owner went a step further and wanted the transmission replaced as well, so that's on our list, along with a whole bunch of other parts here that I'll show you. There you go, yep. Oh man, she's shaking like crazy. Oh, that backfired through the intake though.
I haven't held to the floor for 20 seconds.
That's what it was doing to me when I was trying to bring it in. All right. Didn't shut it off. Want to mess up the catalytic converters.
Oh, I didn't think about those.
Yeah, they were still good last I checked.
Most of what I have doesn't have those.
But here's the truck. You know how it is with the 5.4. One issue leads to another, and you might as well just replace the whole doggone thing. So that's what we're going to do, but the owner didn't want to stop there. We have a brand new reman transmission. We've got every radiator line, the surge tank line. We've got some new wiper blades. We got a dipstick tube. We got transmission cooler lines. We've got the belt, the tensioner, the idler pulleys, an air filter. We got the gasket for the transfer case. We've got an intermediate steering shaft. We've got both exhaust manifolds and all the hardware, a new AC condenser, a new radiator. We've got all new Motorcraft coils in here. That alone was like just $400 or $500 in parts right there. Got a new coolant elbow. There's a new coolant reservoir in there. We got a new power steering pump, power steering lines. We got motor mounts, transmission mounts. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. But the exterior and the interior of this truck is in great shape. It's actually been very, very well taken care of. So the owner wants it to go another 200,000 miles, and that's what we're going to do. This is going to be a fun project. It's going to take a long time, but I say a long time, lots of hours. We're going to try to get it done in one weekend, but that's with two guys working on it around the clock. Well, I don't know about around the clock, but close to it. I didn't buy this truck. A lot of you thought maybe I would buy this thing after you first saw it on the channel, but that ended up not being the case. This is about, I think, around $8,000 or $9,000 in parts, something like that. It's a lot, but he really likes the truck. He wants it to go another 200,000, so that is what we're gonna do. So here we are, kind of phase one, big step out of the way. We got the intake manifold out. And how would you rate the serviceability of that intake manifold and the ease of access to points that you may need to get to?
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire? I would agree.
Crash.
These manifolds really suck because a lot of stuff on the back is sandwiched between the firewall. Like you have to take a nut off of here to get a wire harness loose. The vacuum line is way down here, buried under the intake. There's no way to get to it unless you pull the intake back. And then you got your NOx sensor wires that go around these, and then the plug for this little motor or actuator here that I guess changes the way the air flows through the intake. I'm drawing a blank on what they call that exactly. But yeah, it's not a very fun intake to get out, but we got it out. The air filter is really easy to do though. We got a new one of these as well, so there we go.
We got the college
Yeah, we might have to take the cowl off. I remember it was really close for me. Really close. I managed to get it out without taking it off.
We should be able to get it.
I think so,
Looks
yeah.
like it's gonna go. Oh, what do we got here?
Oh, I'm just going to do a quick check here. Yeah, we're all good. Got something plugged in there?
Yeah, it looks like the oil pressure sensor, I guess.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right by the filter, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Everything else looks clear, though.
Why don't we just do the tension test on that?
Let's see. So after about 5 or 6 hours between the two of us, we got the engine out, and it was a little challenging, the intake manifold especially being one of the most difficult parts of this job. We got it out in one evening. Challenging in certain areas, but overall not too bad. We took the cowl out on this one. I didn't take the cowl out on mine, but I really tore it up and I didn't want to tear his up, so we took the cowl out. One piece there, a couple pieces there. Are those your gloves? Throw it at the torque converter. Oh, that aim though.
Time to go 5.3 in it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we got an LS right there. What are we waiting on?
It took 6 hours. It took me 4 hours alone.
It took us 6 hours with 2 people. I mean, considering what we have, what we had to do, we had to pull the front bumper off because the hoist wouldn't reach far enough, so it is what it is. We weren't going to go out and get a whole nother hoist.
In reality, it was only like
The bumper wasn't too bad to take off. It was like 4 main bolts here, and then a little miscellaneous stuff here in the lights, and then it came right off, so not too bad.
That's basically what my exhaust manifold bolts look like on the Crown Vic
Yeah?
when I went and did it.
I think I saw it leaking. Yeah, it's leaking here. See the exhaust is coming out there? So it was leaking there. These need to be done anyway. It's just one more reason why I told him it's worth it to put an engine in it rather than fighting each and every little individual thing. Yeah, look at these. These were all rusting away, ready to go. I do think somebody did have the timing cover off because there's just so much RTV everywhere and there were missing bolts. Some bolts we found just laying in the engine and weren't put back in. There's a little bit of RTV on this front crank pulley here. We were going to pull that out, but then realized we had to get a puller, so we just figured to take the cowl
You
out.
have the schmoo already all over these?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that earlier. But yeah, somebody just like gooped all that up. Yeah, he's doing the right thing putting an engine in this. I would not want to go through and redo all this. Somebody's already done it. Yeah, this looks pretty fresh.
Overall, really not that bad. I mean, we were messing around with transmission and stuff too, taking the drive shafts out.
Right. We took.
That stuff. If we had focused on just the engine part of it,
Probably would have had it out an hour ago.
honestly, yeah, probably about an hour ago. Also, other than the intake, that was probably the hardest part. If you were going to do it by yourself,
That intake really
all the
sucks.
connectors and all
That
stuff.
intake really sucks. Well, there's the old oil. This is just a weird color. It's got a trace of coolant in there, it looks like. So yeah, it's probably a good thing we're doing the engine. Ever since he told me it overheated like that, you know, when he did that cleaning thing and it was like in the red for like 10-15 minutes, I thought, oof, you know, the red being the coolant gauge. So yeah, I'm glad he's putting an engine in this. Making some progress here. Here's the old engine in the crate. Almost everything's transferred over to the new engine over here. Cart full of tools, another cart full of tools, bench full of tools. And as you can see it straight through the drivetrain tunnel there. Nothing in the way. That's because we got the transmission out. A bunch more parts, more parts, more parts. Here's the replacement transmission. All the trash in the back of the truck here with all the old parts. There's the old transmission. I think we're like 9 or 10 hours into it now. Engine and transmission is out. New ones are just about ready to go in. Well, end of day 2. What are we in this, like 15 hours now, I think, or so? What all do we have done? We have our new engine, new transmission, new torque converter, all the new belt components, oil filter, power steering lines, power steering pump, transmission cooler lines. We've got our new ignition coils in, the nightmare wire harnesses and how they're routed, and everything's kind of all straightened out and figured out. We've still got the starter to put in. We got the torque converter nuts to put on the studs there, get those in place. Still got the AC compressor to put on. And then, of course, I forgot that the new engine doesn't come with an oil pressure switch. So, of course, that got left behind. So now I'm going to have to feel my way around back there and get the other one out. But that's all right. No big deal. All in all, I think for 2 of us working on this with what we have, literally just a garage with floor jacks and no special equipment or tools or anything, I think we're doing okay. Fingers crossed. We'll have this done tomorrow, which is Sunday. And should be running and driving and get out of here under its own power, I hope. Mine took about 4 gallons, so I'm guessing this will be the same. It's getting down there.
I'm just making sure it's at the bottom.
And you can tilt it to the side if need be. Yeah.
Good idea. Can you smell it?
Yeah, she's gonna drink it all. Probably.
Yeah, it's getting pretty low.
That's all right. If it sucks a little bit of air, that's fine, because we still got... Yeah, that sucked it all up. Because see, we're still in the cold fill range there, so let me suck all this up.
Sucking back.
There we go. That's good. So we're a little bit low. We'll need a little more, but that's all right. She'll still run like that. I've never done a job this big. This is the biggest mechanical job I've ever done.
Yeah, like the most amount of money and work that's gone into one
Yeah, and like chances for things to go wrong, and if they do go wrong, it's like it's not good.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. It is now or never. My heart's like about to pound out of my chest.
You want to prime the key a few times to
Yeah.
the system? What's the fuel level, by the way, when you do that?
About quarter.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, which is good because then we can just drive that old gas out and fill it up with fresh gas.
Good.
Let's prime this key a couple more times. Good, so we get a fresh start, good fuel pressure. I feel like I'm in a diesel cycling the key on and off.
Yeah.
Even though you really don't have to do that because the glow plugs stay on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, at least on the 7.3s they do.
I don't even have any gas. I got 2-stroke gas. I don't think I want to put that in there, though.
Probably not.
All right.
I don't know, man. You ready?
Fucking give her.
Here we go. Oh, she sounds so good! Empty! God, it's so quiet. Yeah, a lot quieter now, isn't it?
Good.
Wow. All that frustration and madness and everything else is just so worth it when you turn the key and she fires up like that.
Oh my God, what a treat! What a fucking treat!
You don't need that. Oh, it sounds so good.
Dude.
This is how mine sounded when I first started it. It sounded so smooth. Like perfectly smooth. like they said in the old days, you could balance a dime on that thing. No lights? How's our vitals looking? Oh man. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, dude.
The smoothness of that exhaust though. No more puffing around from that misfiring. Yeah, check that transmission fluid though. How's it look? Oh, quality. I mean, we still got to run it through the gears and that, and it is leaning forward. So, you know, it might be reading a little bit, but top it off if need be. Power steering fluid. Looking here, yeah, I primed it with that. Primed it with a little impact, so that helped. Didn't have a dry start. Oh, and we're getting all that smell of the oils and everything burning off the exhaust. Quality. And there you have it. Everything seemed to be running great. No leaks, no warning lights. Everything seemed to be done just right. And then my buddy looks underneath and says, hey, we got something leaking.
It looks like there's something dripping on the ground. Where? Water. Dripping fully. Yeah. Lower hose.
Fortunately, it turned out to be a weak spring-style clamp for the lower radiator hose. We put a worm gear clamp on it. That fixed the leak, and not a single drop since. After everything was all said and done, I drove the truck for a few days after the repairs, put about 200 miles on it. I wanted to make sure all the monitors set, no codes returned, no warning lights came on, and no drivability issues were present, and the truck rode great. I did have to adjust the toe to center the steering wheel up. I'm not sure if that's due to the steering shaft that we put on it, but the truck rode wonderfully. And there you have it. Engine's running great, transmission shifting smoothly. This truck is ready to go. I'd like to see him get a good life out of this vehicle, and that's why we replaced all the parts we did, and it turned out great. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what did all this cost? How long did it take? Well, with 2 people working on the job, we were able to get this knocked out from Friday afternoon through Sunday evening. The truck was done, everything was installed, and driving under its own power and ready to go. I still had the vehicle detailed to clean up the oil and any other dirt that we got on the very clean interior and exterior of the truck, so the detailing took a little bit, but I had someone else do that, so there was a little money there. Parts ended up being about $8,300 for all this stuff that we put into it. And basically anything that I had done on my truck, I replaced on this vehicle as well for preventative measures. Labor would have probably been about another $4,000 if you have a shop do this. The engine pays 19.8 hours and the transmission pays 7.2 hours. Do the math, you can figure out your labor. Most shops are anywhere from about $100 to $150 per hour. Dealerships are usually on the higher end, and you can find some other smaller independent shops on the lower end. All in all, this guy had about $10,391 in this truck, and he should be set for a good long time. Ford backs the engine and transmission up with a 3-year unlimited mile warranty. So, hope this helps you out if you're trying to decide to do this on your truck. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.